Imagine a world where you're going to get a phone call from your close one, be it your mother or father, saying that, Beta, I've sent you an OTP. Can you kindly approve it like on your digital applications, right? It's from an unknown number. But you know what? There's some sort of a panic in the voice. There's some sort of a very familiar voice, which is your father's voice. It's your close one's voice, right? What are the odds? You're going to approve it, right? Because there is a distress in the voice. You trust the voice, even though it's from an unknown number, right? What are the odds? You're going to approve it. You're going to send that money. Now imagine another stage where some of you would have got a WhatsApp message, an explicit image of yours. How scary would that be, right? And then you get a call saying that, hey, you know what? I've got your explicit images. I'm going to release that on the internet and make it viral if you don't send me 5 lakh rupees. What are the odds? You're going to send it because we all fear. We all fear of the society. We don't think twice. We are just going to say that, hey, you know what? Okay, don't send it. I'll send you the money. Please stop this. This is the real. Do you think this is a fake thing? Do you think this is a fiction? No. It is the deepfake dystopia where it's not a fiction anymore. It is the reality where reality is becoming more and more blurred in this society. In 2025, it has started. And if you think that's all a fake, no. I'm going to narrate you a story about the deepfakes, how it is impacting our society, and what are the things we need to do to make sure that this menace affecting the world is not going to impact us. Well, before we get into that, I just want to know that what is a deepfake, right? Some of you might have heard of it. Some of you might not have heard of it. I'm going to tell you what is a deepfake. Deepfake is nothing but a advanced algorithm. It's called a deep learning algorithm used to kind of like generate images, used to generate videos, and used to generate audios. It's a synthetic media at the end of the day. When I say media, it is not a normal media. It has been started as a fun. I'm sure many of you who follow stand-up comedians, we all have been seeing that, right? Where we used to morph the images of some celebrities as a fun thing, possibly around 2017, 2018, and used to have a lot of fun. It used to be glitchy, but we used to have a lot of fun around it, right? But that fun is now turning into a menace. When I say that, you might have heard of all these applications these days like ChatGPT, Midjourney, and other applications. These are applications done by some of the best minds in the world of artificial intelligence. They are creating the tools and applications for you which anybody can easily access, which was done for a very good purpose. But as you know, as much as we are using these applications, the perpetrators, the malicious actors out there are using it for much more disastrous causes. They have got an entire parallel economy running to make sure that our society is really in a bad shape because of these sort of applications. When I speak about the synthetic media, the first thing I spoke about was the images, right? And also when I speak about lip sync, I'm not sure if somebody is a fan of Morgan Freeman. Those who have seen Shawshank Redemption would be able to relate. He's one of the fantastic actors. But you know what? He's one of the most used deepfake videos of his. And even if someone's a fan of Tom Cruise, you might have seen that there's a lot of fake videos about him as a deepfake video, which is not involved in it at all. It's because the algorithm picks up the voice which are very deep, which are very, very stable. And these are the actors who have kind of like aced it in their acting, and their voices have been used frequently in all these deepfake videos. And why are they using these actors? Because we trust. We trust these people. Because we believe that if Morgan Freeman is going to say something, that must be real, right? It is not real. That's the world we are living in, where what you see and also what you hear. Voice cloning. Do you know that earlier, maybe a couple of years back, it used to take hours to clone a voice. Now, it hardly takes 3 seconds. 3 seconds is what it takes to just upload your audio, and you're going to get a fake cloned audio of yours. And just imagine using these three things, what can the perpetrators do? It's easier. It's easier to fool anybody out there, including us who have got an expertise in this. We are able to not find out what is real and what is fake. That's the reality of it. Now, if you'd ask me, what is the deepfake usage? What are the perpetrators, what are the malicious actors going to use this for? The first and the foremost thing, the frauds and the scams, right? I'm just going to tell you one thing. If you think that this sort of scams are just going to impact some small, like people who are not aware of technology, no, you're wrong. I'm going to narrate you an incident which happened in 2024 in a multinational company where a person sitting in Hong Kong got a call from his chief financial officer and the entire executive team saying that, hey, you know what? We are going to do a very confidential acquisition of a company. I need you to transfer immediately 25 million USD to the account of this account because we are going to do a confidential acquisition. There was a boardroom. This was a video call where there were all the executives. The person who's looking after the finance saw that these are the people I work with. Well, let me transfer. Guess what? This was a morphed deepfake video entirely staged just to make sure that 25 million was taken away from this organization. So that clearly shows that this is not something which is only for like those who are not digitally literate. This can happen with anybody. We often hear about the news of India becoming the third largest economy, right? By 2028, if I'm correct. We just beat Japan. Great news. But do you know who's actually the third largest economy in the world? It's the cybercrime economy. You know, cybercrime economy is going to touch a double-digit $10 trillion economy. If it's considered as a country, it's going to surpass even India and Germany. It's going to be the third largest economy in the world. And that's how scary it is. And that's how big the market is running in the parallel. And when you speak about the other one is the disinformation. This city is not a surprise element that we are closer to a conflict area. And you guys can definitely relate how one small fake news can disrupt and can create riots across the places, right? And how severe it can get. This is a matter of life and death. And disinformation can be spread easily through some sort of like news articles, through fake news, through deepfake videos, right? That can happen as well. And the most important, extortion. Like I said, anybody can threaten each other by sending morphed videos. I have been reading some news in some part of our country itself where a person was apparently making morphed videos of his neighbors and was selling it on the internet. Just imagine how scary it is, right? And there have been a lot of suicides because of this. It's just because people don't report. They live in a matter of shame. They are hesitant to report because people are not aware that these technologies are advancing at such a faster pace at the moment. And the last important thing, the manipulation. I'm sure we all are following our favorite content creators, right? Today is a world of content creation. It's a content creation economy out there on our social media platforms, be it Instagram through Reels. Outside India, there's TikTok. There's a huge boom in the content creation market. You know, all our content creators have their videos or everything online. There are some products who are actually morphing these videos and selling their products through these content creators by manipulating the people because people trust these content creators. Recently, I saw one of the content creator from my hometown was her videos were used to sell some products and people actually were buying the products. Now you'd say, how stupid is it, right? No, because the videos were such of high in quality that you couldn't distinguish whether it was a real person or it was a fake video. So these are the four, I would say, the most important parts where we are going to see the usage of deepfake. And it's just gonna, these are the four major use cases. But imagine where all the places these things can be utilized. Now, if you would say that, hey, you know what, who's gonna be the target of it? You know what, everyone. There is a survey that in a couple of years, majority of Indian population are gonna be a target of deepfakes. I have the stats, but I don't wanna say the number because it's very scary at the moment. First and foremost, each individual like you, every single one of you are gonna be a target of it. If it's not today, it's definitely gonna be tomorrow. So be aware of it, right? Elderly, this is the most important one. So each one of us have our grandfathers, like grandmothers, our elderly, our parents are getting old. We have senior citizens at home who have just started to get exposed to digital media, right? Every one of us use WhatsApp these days, Instagram, we keep forwarding messages. Apparently, I just saw in my own parents group, there was a lot of fake videos and my parents were actually believing it. They were forwarding it to others. And just imagine how scary it can get. I just want to mention a term here. The term is called pig butchering. This is a scam not widely known in India, but it's happening where in the countries like Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos, where people kind of like honey trap, if that's the word you guys can relate to, or kind of do something called as love baiting, where they target the senior citizens because they are often lonely, they don't talk to people, and they build the trust over 6 months. And after 6 months, they kind of send the parcel over the internet and say that, hey, you know what? You have got a parcel, you need to pay a million or a lakh or something over customs. And people actually send those money and get trapped. All their retirement funds have been like depleted just because of these scams. And they don't even often share because it's not the money, it's because they trust this person for the 6 months. And that's how lonely our senior citizens are getting. And we need to take action. We need to educate them about this. And the third one, the business. Now, if you speak about the business, I'm going to tell you that it is just not targeting regular people. Even when you speak of business, we might think that the business folks, a lot of CEOs here, right? We are all smart people. But there was a businessman. He was a CEO of a bank in Kansas City, Kansas State in US. He apparently ended up sending $45 million of his investors in a crypto scam just through a deepfake scam. Just through a deepfake video, he ended up spending all the money of his investors, and he apparently got jailed in an embezzlement case for 24 years. So do you think he was stupid? He was a well financially literate person, and if he can get stuck in this, do you think we can be spared? I don't think so. We all are going to be a target of it. And just to give you a stat, in just first quarter of 2025, 200 million USD has been stolen from people just through deepfake. Just imagine the number, 200 million USD. And the number is keep on increasing. And apparently the business worth is 40% year-on-year growth. That's like a Nvidia kind of a stock. So if parallel economy, cybersecurity economy was a stock market, like it's an entry, I'm sure everybody would have invested in that, which shouldn't. The most important one, the government. I'm sure there are a lot of people from the government here as well. It is very, very crucial that you be safe and secure, because there are possibilities. I'll just give you an example which happened both in US as well as in Ukraine. I'm sure you guys have heard about the war in Russia and Ukraine, right? A year back, the Ukraine counterpart, like the Ukraine president, apparently there was a video circulated on the news that the president of Ukraine told to just give up the arms, stop the war, some sort of a fake video. It was circulated all throughout. Apparently, it turned out to be a deep fake video. Just imagine what would be the consequences of it, right? Similarly, during the US elections as well, there was a lot of deepfake videos saying to stop to vote. So again, this can happen in India as well. It might be happening right now. So just be careful of it. Now, what would happen because of all these things? I would say erosion of trust. Because the world, our society works on trust. You believe it or not. At the end of the day, even if you go any place, you believe on the other person that I'm going to be safe, I'm going to be secure, right? Erosion of the trust. What you see is not what it is right now, or what you hear is not what it is. The reverse of it. I recently saw a video of a politician in apparently in a different country where he released a video in a proper Bollywood style. I thought it was a AI generated video. Apparently, it was a true video. So I couldn't trust even the real video. I thought it was an AI video. So the reverse could also be true. Coming to one of the famous example, I'm sure many of you follow F1 here, right? I recently watched the movie, fantastic movie, fell in love with the crew and everything, amazing movie. So apparently, a lady in France, so she is in her mid-50s, was going through a divorce case. So she had got some sort of a settlement, and somehow she got a message from a Brad Pitt's mother on Instagram. Wow. Brad Pitt's mother wanted to find a lady for Brad Pitt, saying that, hey, you know what? My son is looking for a wife. He is going through a divorce through Angelina Jolie. So I think you are a great fit. And you know what? She started texting Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt actually came on video. He was like looking into her hand and sending videos, photographs. If you see on the right side, he's been sending videos from hospital saying that, hey, you know what? I'm going through a kidney problem. Can you transfer me some money? I'll settle it once I get back the money. And the lady ended up sending $850,000, which is apparently 7 to 8 crores. And later she got to know that Brad Pitt is hanging out with some new girlfriend in some other town. And that's when she realized that she got scammed. So, and many more, right? When I say many more, it's not just Hollywood. Even in India, I'm sure you guys might have heard of Rashmika Mandanna, who faced some sort of a deepfake video last year, which became a huge fuss, right? And it can happen with anybody. So we need to be careful about it. Now, how do you spot these deepfakes? It's no brainer. Use your spidey skills. Think, calm down, relax, think twice before you make any move. Unnatural blinking. Look, it's not natural. Or poor lip syncing. You can easily figure it out. Just don't panic. Inconsistent lighting. You know where your parents or where your folks would be sitting, right? If there's something different, look for those signs. glitchy facial expressions. If something is not normal, it is not normal. Poor audio quality or the robotic voice. You'll see some sort of a very robotic voice. Figure that out. That might be a deepfake. Or irregular behavior and stiffness. You know how your folks work. You know how your folks interact with you. If you see some sort of a deviation from it, there is a high chance, high probability that it is a deepfake. Also, a quick tip for all of you. If you're doing a massive financial transaction with your parents, maybe why don't you have a like a secret code, some word. Only if your parents are going to say that word, you're going to transfer that money. I know it sounds very filmy style, but that is the future we are living in. So better to spot those deepfakes through that. Now, in the end, I would say that seeing is no longer believing, because what you see today might not be what it is. In future, I might not even be standing here. It might just be my holographic things, right? We all have seen that. And yesterday I wanted to present it, but I didn't want it to risk it. I just cloned my voice in 3 seconds, and my entire speech could be done in a deepfake. That's how scary it is. Now, I want to give you some things which I think as a takeaway from this is we all can fight this out. And that can only happen if we are stronger together. Because I want to bring it out that we are losing the battle. The perpetrators are much, much more faster, much more agile than all of us. It's because we are not together, but they are together. The first and foremost one, each one of you, after you go off from here, have to take a pledge that you're going to create awareness. Yesterday night, I came from Amritsar to Patiala. It was late in the night. I was speaking to a auto rickshaw driver, and I spoke to him that, Uncle, do you know ChatGPT? Do you know Perplexity? He's like, kya hota hai? Then I showed him, I interacted, I did the negotiation of price just through a ChatGPT voice control. And he was fascinated. He gave me a 25 rupees discount. Right? We need to make sure that awareness is very important. I'm sure you all are very responsible. Go out there. It's not just your family. When you sit down with your families for dinner, make sure to educate. Go out when you're sitting in your Ola or your any cab service, right? Speak to the driver. Speak to every single person. Big tech. I'm sure there are people here from technology sector as well. It's an opportunity for you guys to go out, build this sort of deepfake detectors. Maybe your idea will be turning out into $100 million company which might get acquired, right? Also the big tech like Meta, Google, these guys have also a responsibility. For those who are into law, hold them accountable. Make sure that they take care of all these things. I'm sure Sir is here as well from the government sector as well. It is equal responsibility of the governments to make sure that we take care of our people in these aspects of awareness. I'll just give you one example. In Europe, there's a country called Denmark who recently, just a week back, proposed a law to make sure that every citizen of Denmark can copyright their face. Just imagine, every face can be copyrighted so that nobody can steal your face. If they do that, you can sue them. We need such laws. We need such regulations in place. Finally, the law enforcement. I'm sure there's a lot of police people as well here. Make sure that you guys get awareness of when such sort of attacks happen, when such sort of cases happen. You treat them with sensitivity. You take them with utmost attention, because we need to make sure that everyone is secure. I would say in the land of truth of Punjab and Guru Nanak, it's a battle between lie and truth. And I'm sure we might be losing at the moment, but we can win this. And we can only win if we are stronger together, if we are united, and if each one of us are aware of what we are doing. At the end of the day, I would say truth alone trumps. Satyameva Jayate. I am confident that everybody is going to ride on this wave, and we are making sure that every citizen is protected. Everyone, kith and kin, is make sure that they don't fall for this trap. Thank you so much.